and welcome to another edition of Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And today it's about Christmas, all about Christmas. Yes, it's Christmas week this week. Actually, in exactly 1 week, on Sunday will be Christmas. So it's going to be like next week. So it's Christmas week, preparing for Christmas. And you're running around to get the things you need. You're running around to get the food, the present. If you haven't gotten Christmas present yet, you're running around to get Christmas present. How are you preparing for Christmas? You can comment below. Thank you so much for joining me on this show on my YouTube channel. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share. And in fact, this month I have a special going on, and you can participate in it. So on Monday Motivation, as we roll, we have our motivational quote, and the motivational quote for today says, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. And this quote is by Eric Thomas. It's on planetofsuccess.com. I will take the quote again. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. And this quote is by Eric Thomas. So that means you have to be tenacious. It means you have to be persistent. You don't have to give up on your dream. This year is ending, yes, and you haven't realized your goals, yes, but do not give up. The fact that you have not realized your goal does not mean you should give up. Keep trying, keep pushing, and before you know it, you will be successful. I'm encouraging you, no matter what you might have gone through this year, think through the whole year. What are those things that have been good? And begin to take stock of those. And then begin to map out for the next year. And even before this year is over, we still have a couple of days more before this year is over. You can still experience your heart desire. You can still make your dream become a reality. You just need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Do not give up. Welcome again. It's Monday Motivation with Bukola. I will be right back. Welcome. If you are just joining me for the first time, this is another edition of Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And I'm your host, Bukola Oriola. And today I'm talking about Christmas because it's Christmas week and you are shopping for Christmas. And I want to tell you a little story, and I hope that this story inspires you. So this story is about me. In 2007, around this time, I was at a battered women's shelter called Alexandra House. That was where I had my Christmas with my son. In fact, that was where my son celebrated his first birthday in November. Because we got to that shelter on October 16, 2007. And we lived at that shelter for 8 solid months before we were able to move into our own apartment. But guess what? Even though I was going through the worst of my life at that time, I did not give up. In fact, that Christmas was the best Christmas that I've had in the US for the first 2 years that I spent in the US. And it looked like for some people, oh, you're homeless, you don't have anything. Yet, I was grateful for what I had. I was grateful that I had a roof over my head. I had a place to put my head at night to sleep. I had a place for my son to sleep at night. Was it an easy experience? No. In fact, during that time, I was depressed to the point where I was diagnosed for post-traumatic stress disorder. And I continued to fight for life. I continued to struggle to see another day, to be alive, to be able to take care of my son, to be alive, to achieve my dreams, to be alive, to help others. And I remembered that I always said, God, if you just keep me alive, if I get help, I'm going to help others. And guess what? One of the things they did for me at the shelter was to give me a goal plan. I will tell you about my goal plan when we come back. We will be right back. Don't go away. Hello, and thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And today I'm talking about Christmas, and I'm sharing a little story. So back to my story of the goal plan. They gave me a piece of paper where it asked me questions like my short-term goal, my long-term goal, my goal for a year, my goal for 3 months, my goal for 5 years. And guess what? I began to write down my goals. And one of the goals I wrote down was to be able to move to my own apartment, because at that time I was regarded as illegal alien because my visa had expired and I couldn't rent an apartment. I couldn't get any kind of assistance from the government. And also at that time, I had nothing. I went to the shelter with just the clothes on my back. But guess what? I wrote it down that within 1 year, I want to be out of the shelter to move into my own apartment. I also wrote down that within the next year to 3, I want to have my own car. And I also wrote that within the next 5 years, I want to write my own book. But guess what? Everything happened within a year. I moved from the shelter after 8 months. That was under 1 year. I bought my first car within a year. In 2008, I bought my first car. And I also wrote my book within 2 years, actually, in 2009. So before the 5 years, I wrote my first book called Imprisoned: The Travels of a Traffic Victim. And looking back now, I'm like, wow. And why did I write my book? I wrote that book because I was passionate about helping others set free from human trafficking and domestic violence. I didn't know that I was a victim of human trafficking until I was educated and was told that I was a victim of human trafficking. I didn't know that I was a victim of domestic violence. I just knew that I was in a bad situation and I was not happy and I was struggling. And they educated me. And I thought, I don't want another woman to go through what I went through. I don't want another man to go through what I went through. And I don't want any child to experience what my son experienced. So I wrote my book. I made myself to be vulnerable and wrote the book to help others. And I'm grateful to God today that many have gotten help as a result of my story. Some have read my book and they've gotten help. Those who didn't believe that help is available or help is real, have read my book and it has given them hope. Are you feeling hopeless right now? Are you feeling like as the year is ending, it looks like your life is ending and it looks like life is just being sucked out of you? I want to encourage you today not to give up. Do not give up. It may be the end of the year, but it is definitely not the end for you. You can still turn your life around. Yes, you can. And you can join me at the Empowerment and Hope Summit in February. We'll take a break now and I will be right back. Thanks so much again for joining me. If you are joining me for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And I'm talking about Christmas and a little story. So thank you for joining me. Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you're having great preparations for your Christmas. Are you preparing food? What kind of food are you preparing for Christmas? Do you have like a traditional dish that you make for Christmas? Leave a comment below. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel for motivational shows like this on Mondays and several other shows. I do shows on this channel is about beauty and fashion, but of course I do have a variety of programs for you beyond beauty and fashion. Thank you for joining me again. So back to my story. I left Alexandra's house and began to lend my voice to help others. Has it been an easy job? No, it has not been an easy job. But I tell you that it's been rewarding. It's been elevating. And I went further and did more stuff. I started a TV show called The Prison Show to shed light on the issue of human trafficking and domestic violence. I went on, I launched a non-profit organization called The Anyton Story. And now I just released my second book called A Living Label that chronicled my journey as a survivor. Like, what happened to the victim? So now what is happening with the survivor? And I did it also to inspire. It's called a living label, a motivational memoir and guide. You know, even if you are not a survivor of human trafficking, that book will inspire you. It will inspire you regardless of where you are in your life journey. It will inspire you not to give up hope on yourself. It will inspire you to know that you are capable. You are capable of doing excellent things. You are capable of doing wonderful things. You are capable of doing great things. So do not give up. Don't. Please do not give up. You can do it. You can do it. If you are listening to me right now, you can do it. Do not give up. Take action. Write down your goals. Even if it's just one thing you want to do, and put a timeline to it. This is one thing I want to do, and put a timeline to it. You will be surprised that you might realize that goal before the end of the timeline. So I want you to be encouraged today. And beyond that, you know, I went on and kept doing work and kept doing work. And guess what? About a year ago now, I was appointed by the president and became a member of the U.S. Advisory Council on Human Trafficking. You know, meaning that the federal government wants to hear my opinion on how to better programs, on how to better serve survivors of human trafficking, on how to implement policies that will further the efforts of the human trafficking advocacy movement. The sky is your limit. I want you to be encouraged today. The sky is your limit. And say to yourself, the sky is my limit. Be inspired today. And that brings me to my motivational word of the day. The motivational word of the day is inspire. I will be right back. Don't go away. Hello, and thank you for joining me today. If you are just joining for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And I'm your fabulous host today, Bukola Oriola. And today I've been talking about Christmas, because Christmas is just, you know, a few days from now. This is Christmas week. And a little story, and I've been sharing my story, my own personal experience and my personal journey from 2007, and I do hope that this story inspires you to be hopeful. Do not give up. Do not give up. My message for you today is be hopeful, be inspired, do not give up. Write down your goals. Write down your goals. The Bible says, write the vision down. Make it plain. Write down your goals. Write it down. And you will be surprised how you will realize your goals. Thank you so much again. If you are not yet following, please follow me. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, click the subscribe button below and subscribe to this channel to be able to get more motivational messages like this and many other stuff on this channel. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Merry, Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.